All right, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is a new feature that is called Q-tip of the Spear, and this is number two. We're just gonna talk about the general um, a recap of the day's events or the prior day's events in the info war, the cold civil world war that's going on. And um, this is coming from a person that first was red pilled back in the 1980s, and just seeing while um, having great respect for a lot of the people out there doing the work, just hopefully maybe able to nudge people in one way or the other just a little bit. I see some mistakes that are being made in terms of just not enough kind of universalism and kind of a little bit of tunnel vision and just some, you know, uh, I guess slight mental illnesses that, personality disorders and so on that come in and that kind of mix things up. Um, I watch a lot of these different podcasters, or at least listen to them. And, you know, I probably will name some by name. If I don't watch your show or if I don't mention you, that maybe doesn't even mean that I don't watch you. And uh, some people I probably have never watched before because I just don't know about them or what have you. But it looks like we are, and really the only reason that I'm doing this at this point is because I'm very confident that we're going to win and that these are things that kind of need to be addressed eventually, but that I don't want to serve as a distraction away from, you know, um, from winning, from prevailing. And so I'm going to just kind of talk off the cuff. And, I just feel like we are, um, falling into a few different traps. We are sort of insisting, on one hand, um, some of us are wanting to have validation, wanting to be, um, you know, proven right, that we are conspiracy theorists and we've been talking till we are blue in the face and having everybody laugh at us. And now we're finally getting people to admit that we were right or at least come to us for advice. I would just advise that, well, that is a measure of validation, and that also is, um, something that you can come to with humility and, not say I told you so, but just try to answer the questions. But also that the mere fact that you are getting validation does not mean that you don't need to do more digging. Um, uh, I think there's a misnomer in the movement that once you are awake, that you are done waking up. And I guess waking up is it's a process. You wake up by degrees. If you're searching for truth, you're always waking up to new things. And so, waking up isn't like a final state. Like I woke up at such and such a time. You know, maybe you had your first awakening at such and such a time, or you were first red pilled. You were first, um, shattered or shaken by the depth of the awakening. But um, the awakening is ongoing, and so um, don't get don't get comfy with where you're at, because there's more digging that needs to be done. And I think that a lot of the patriots out there think that this is going to be a lot easier than they think it's going to be, or that it's going to be a lot harder than they think it's going to be, because there's a lot more of them that they are going to have to come to grips with, and these are the deeper digs, the digs um, into uh, matters that are much older than the general conspiracies that we work with here in the info war, that are only from the 20th century and the 21st century. When we go back, we're going to see some things about our country that we don't really uh, expect and or like. We're going to see things about our culture that we don't like, and we're going to see a lot of things about our religion, especially our religious books, that are going to need to be jettisoned, that are not part of any type of universal truth moving forward. And so there's a lot more sacrifices and a lot more digging that's going to need to be done. I think a lot of people are thinking, we're done. We're we just have to kind of win this. And um, you know, I am I'm going to make a very big stink about this, because this is not. I've been waiting for this for a very long time, and um, I'm not prepared to move forward um, on specifically in terms of the Bible and the Christianity. um, there there is something that's, I think, more universal that we need to use as a foundation moving forward, and that is what you would call deism, the belief in one God, and that one God shows itself through its works, which is through nature, not through books that have been written by humans, but through nature, and that we can use our higher levels of intelligence to behold that creation. And then when you get into the books and when you get into the religions, then you start getting into all kinds of divisiveness, and I just don't think that that's appropriate. And um, I I think that you know this country, many of the founders of this country uh, were deists, and so I don't believe that this is abandoning our heritage in any way to kind of use deism as a um, foundation. And there were what you would call Christian deists, and uh, there were even, I guess, what you would call, I don't know. I don't think there's such a thing as an atheist deist, but there's, you know, maybe such a thing as maybe a pagan deist, um, God of nature. But so I think that, in the main, we're not looking for validation. That's a good starting point, but we still have a lot more digging to do, and that's the main point that I think I picked up from kind of some of the discussions that we've had today, from just looking at the Jeffrey Epstein files and seeing normie people freak out and so on. Okay, thanks for tuning in today. Check me out every day, and like, share, subscribe. Have a great day.